Welcome to the walkthrough of frequently made mistakes for assignment 2C for my Scalable Microservices course in the spring of 2024. Let's start with some overall comments. As usual, code that isn't commented thoroughly won't be reviewed. I don't know why people keep doing this, but make sure you comment your code. Secondly, make sure you implement all the methods in previous assignments that are in the overall project in a project assignment 2C, and make sure your code compiles. A number of people's code didn't compile, so they didn't get a review. And then finally, make sure that you check your previous assignments and fix the bugs that are reported by the newer tests. We have some newer tests, as always, and some people haven't been fixing those things, so you're going to lose points if you don't fix that. So now let's start taking a look at the code issues. First, make sure that you implement the movie class properly. You need to make sure that you implement the interface that enables movies to be compared and checked for equality. Otherwise, you'll fail tests. Let's now take a look at some issues with various problems in the proxies. So this is left over from the assignment 1 series. Make sure that you don't use from URI string, use from path instead. Down here, let's take a look at some of the retrofit problems. You're using the wrong constant here. This is a post, so we shouldn't be using get as the name. And down here, the wrong constant is being passed here in the wrong place. This is a post method, but you need to take a careful look and make sure you use the right constant here. Down here, yet again, this method needs to be named the same as the corresponding method in the database sync_proxy.java file. And now let's go ahead and take a look at some issues with the newer versions of the proxies that use the HTTP interface client feature. Something very important is missing here, so you need to make sure you fix that properly. The proxies here are wrong. Please make sure you take a look at the proxy video, but don't use route name since it's not needed here. You don't need to have a route name there. So change that. Down here, you need to make sure you use path variable query instead of just path variable. We'll probably fix this in the next assignment, but that's what you need to do for now. This is using the wrong constant. Note this is a post, not a get, so you need to fix that. This is also using the wrong annotation here, so you need to fix that. This is using the wrong annotation. Once again, this is a post, not a get, so you need to fix that. And this is putting the timed portion in the wrong place. Again, go back and look at the previous assignment. I think it probably does that correctly. So make sure you fix those things. All these tests are failing. When tests fail, don't just sit there and scratch your head, but try to figure out what's wrong or ask for help on Piazza. Make sure, of course, you also implement these methods. This method just says return null, so of course it's going to blow up. And down here, a number of people were confused for the get database ex API factory method. Make sure that you watch the pattern that's shown in this video and follow that. We talk about that in the video. Same issue here. Oh, sorry. What's the issue here? This is you shouldn't be using a cast. You should follow the pattern that's described in this video. This is totally wrong. This is not the way to do things. Again, watch the video. And you need to see how to create this. This is not what we're doing. This is for retrofit, and we're not doing retrofit here. We're doing HTTP client. Now let's move over here into the database repository methods. So down here, don't repeat yourself. Make sure you call a helper method to do this. This is also wrong, but make sure you call the helper method to do this. Down here in get predicate, you need to follow the pattern that's shown in the web MVC EX4 case study at this link. You'll take a look, you'll see how that works. There's an extra map that needs to go in here that does something. Down here, again, make sure you follow the pattern that's described in this video. Don't start changing things and moving them around. Follow the pattern, that's why we have those videos. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the issues related to the database EX repository. Once again, make sure you watch the video here and follow the patterns. People are just doing all kinds of crazy things. Don't do the code there, but instead call the build query string helper method. Also, this is going in the wrong place. It doesn't belong here. It belongs in build query string. We'll talk more about that in a second. A lot of people weren't putting the implementation in the right place. This is the thing that orders stuff, and you need to make sure that you do this. And you also need to put that code here, and you have to make sure that you're doing this in a case-insensitive manner. A number of people weren't handling this in a case-insensitive manner, so make sure that that does that. Don't make a tem variable here, but instead just return this result directly. Make sure you watch this video and follow the pattern there. This code is incorrect. Not quite sure what it's doing, but it's not right. So follow the pattern. That's why we have those videos. Down here, you have to take a very, very careful look at this code and see how it differs. I'll give you a hint. It's around here. So take a very careful look and make sure you follow the same pattern. Otherwise, your code isn't going to work. Down here, you need to make sure that you follow the specification there where it says case insensitive manner. Very important to do this in a case insensitive manner. This is not case insensitive. This code is way, way too complicated. Now we're moving into the database service test for the database EX. This should just be forwarding to the appropriate method in the repository for database EX. This code is incorrect. We've talked about this now for several assignments. I don't understand why people haven't fixed it, but you need to fix it. It's described in the frequently made mistakes video for assignment 2A and the frequently made mistakes video for assignment 2B. So make sure you fix that. This code isn't fulfilling the specification. If you read the specification, you'll see that you need to do something different. So make sure you fix that. Down here, for some reason, this method is the wrong one to call. Likewise, this method is the wrong one to call. These were swapped. So take a careful look and make sure you understand what you're doing. And also, of course, look at the output from the tests and make sure you fix the problems. This is just completely wrong. You need to follow the pattern that's described here in this video. This code is completely wrong. You need to make sure you follow the pattern in the video. Again, this is super duper easy. Just make sure you do that. This is likewise calling the wrong method here. Obviously, if you return null, you're going to get your program to blow up and you'll get failures. So when you see failures, go look at your code and see why it's failing. It tells you exactly where it's failing, so go fix that. Down here, don't use a helper method. Put the code from this method in line. That's what the tests expect. Also, you need to watch the assignment 2 frequently made mistakes video to know how to make this pass the test. We talk about that there. Use a method reference here instead of a lambda expression. Don't pass any parameters to sorted. These are all things that we went over in the previous videos for frequently made mistakes for assignment 2A and 2B. So not sure why people are still having problems with that. Down here, again, you need to make sure you arrange this code correctly as per the comment. That was from assignment 2B, frequently made mistakes as well, as was this. So make sure you go back and fix these problems. Use a method reference here, not a lambda expression. And now we're getting down to the very end. Here's something left over from assignment 1, but we have a better test now. There's no need to call filter here since that's done in the futures to stream method. So those were the frequently made mistakes that I saw from my review of assignment 2C. Make sure you fix these. If you have questions, come to office hours and talk to the TA and or post questions to Piazza. Make sure that you do these things. Very important to have all your tests passed. Don't lose points because you failed to make your tests work from the previous assignments with the newer tests. And also make sure, for goodness sakes, make sure that your code compiles because otherwise you're going to get 0 points for the assignment.